So today we're diving deep into one of the most intense trials you'll find in any story, the final selection from Demon Slayer. Now, this isn't just some final exam. Nope. This is a 7-day, non-stop battle for your life, and it's designed to do one of two things: make you a warrior or make you a memory.
And just to set the tone, these are the words from the master trainer Urokodaki to our hero Tanjiro. Before anything even kicks off, this single line tells you everything you need to know about the stakes. This isn't some glorious quest. It's a place where kids have gone to die again and again, and he's seen it all.
Alright, so you have to wonder, how in the world does Tanjiro even get the green light to face a trial that deadly? Well, it all comes down to 2 years of absolutely brutal training and a few final heavy lessons from his master.
For 2 solid years, Tanjiro trained until he couldn't move, and Urokodaki's final test for him was just absurd. He had to split a giant boulder in half with his sword? I mean, come on. But he did it. He actually did it. And at that point, Urokodaki knew he couldn't hold him back any longer. He had to let him go, but not without one last meal and one really critical piece of advice.
Urokodaki lays out some simple, terrifying biology. He says, you know how a growing boy gets stronger the more he eats? Well, demons work the exact same way. The more humans they devour, the more powerful they become. It totally reframes what they're up against, doesn't it? They aren't just fighting monsters, they're fighting monsters whose strength is literally built from the people they've killed.
As one last parting gift, Urokodaki gives Tanjiro this warding mask that he carved himself. He says it's got a protection spell woven into it to keep him from harm. It's this final, desperate act from a teacher who is just trying to give his student any little edge he can against the horrors he knows are waiting. It's a piece of hope.
And that's it. Training's over. Tanjiro makes his way to Mount Fujikasane for the trial, and let me tell you, the place is beautiful, but, that beauty is hiding a really, really ugly secret.
See, this mountain? It's not just wilderness. It's a prison. Demon slayers catch demons alive and they just leave them here. So what keeps them all from just walking away? A gorgeous forest of wisteria flowers. Turns out, wisteria is lethal to demons. So that beautiful scenery is actually the bars on a giant's terrifying cage.
The rules are as simple as they are horrifying. You just have to walk past the safety of the flowers and into the part of the mountain that's swarming with demons. And the only goal, the only objective, is to survive. That's it.
For 7 days. Just let that sink in for a second. A whole week. No rest, no rescue missions, every rustle in the bushes, every shadow you see could be it for you. It's just non-stop survival.
So the second Tanjiro steps past that wisteria line, his training gets put to the ultimate test. There's no warm-up, no easing into it. The first night is a total trial by fire.
And what do you know? He's almost immediately ambushed by 2 demons. But this is the moment, right? This is where those 2 years of pure hell pay off. He doesn't freak out. He calms himself, focuses on his total concentration water breathing, and takes them both down. It's his first proof that maybe, just maybe, he's ready for this.
And you see this little shift in him right here. He's no longer just the kid whose family was taken. He's a warrior. He can fight back. His training was real. And you see that confidence just start to bubble up. But unfortunately for him, that confidence is about to be shattered into 1,000,000 pieces.
Because you see, something else lives on this mountain. Something that's been here a very long time, and it is much older and much, much angrier than all the others.
Out of the darkness comes this absolutely enormous, mutated demon with what looks like dozens of arms. You can practically smell the decay coming off of it. The other candidates just freeze. They're terrified. You can tell right away, this isn't just another demon. This is the king of the prison yard. And it's got a long memory.
And that's when this all gets incredibly personal. The demon sees Tanjiro, and it lets slip a little secret. It was captured 47 years ago by a young Urokodaki, Tanjiro's master. For nearly half a century, it's been stuck on this mountain, just stewing in its hatred for the man who put it there.
And all that hatred? Well, it's been focused on a very specific target. Remember that mask that was supposed to be a symbol of protection? It turns out it's been a curse.
The demon starts counting. It's so creepy. 11, 12, 13, and then it looks to Tanjiro and says, that makes you number 14. 14. That's how many of Urokodaki's students it has personally hunted down and eaten during their final selection exams.
So how did it know? How could it pick them out? The warding mask. It recognizes the unique carving style. The very thing that was meant to be a protective charm from a loving master was actually a bullseye. It was marking them for this one demon's personal revenge. Just brutal irony.
And then the demon just twists the knife. It says it remembers killing two of Urokodaki's best students, Sabito and Makomo, who, you might remember, are the very spirits who helped train Tanjiro. And then it taunts him, saying it's like their own master just led them right to their deaths. So at this point, the whole fight changes. This is no longer about passing a test. This is about revenge. It's about breaking a cycle of death that's been going on for 47 years. Tanjiro isn't just fighting a demon anymore. He's fighting the monster that killed his entire spiritual family.
And the odds? They seem completely impossible. The demon's arms grow back the second they're cut off. Its neck, which is a demon's only real weak spot, is as thick as a tree trunk. And, let's not forget, it already killed Sabito, who was supposedly the strongest of all of Urokodaki's students.
But Tanjiro doesn't back down. He pushes past the fear, the grief, all of it, and he channels every single thing he's ever learned, from Urokodaki, from Sabito, from Makomo, into one single desperate attack. He leaps up and unleashes the first and most basic form he ever learned, the water surface slash.
And that is the moment of truth. This one attack carries the weight of all 13 students who came before him. Every single one of them failed. Every single one was eaten. So the question really is 2 years of training enough to slice through a hatred that's been hardening for almost half a century?